Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
So Canada's proposing a new bill, and it's called Bill C-367. And what it's proposed to do is remove religious exemptions to defend hate speech. So basically, if you are out on a street corner, like a lot of street pastors do and ministers, and you are preaching against something like the LGBTQ community, for example, that would now be considered hate speech, where before it was an exemption. So, you were typically allowed to do that because it's freedom of speech. So again, this bill is now proposing that this would be considered hate speech. And so with that, you will be arrested and can be jailed. Take a look at what Jeff King from International Christian Reform has to say about this.
First of all, it amends the criminal code and it takes away some religious exemptions that protected Christians. So if you're in the United States, we saw the same kind of thing with the Equality Act that the Biden administration was trying to pass. And basically it creates hate speech laws. Some of those have already advanced in Canada, but Christians were protected. They said, well, if they're saying biblical things or if they're saying things according to their faith, whether that's Quranic or biblical or whatever, they're protected. And this is the alarming thing, is that this strips those out. There is no protection. And as always, this is what the dictators and the despots do overseas to strangle Christianity or whatever faith. They say, oh, we have religious freedom, but not in the public sphere.
They try to
What
strangle
would happen to
Christianity.
them potentially if this were to pass?
Yeah, well, I interviewed a pastor recently who is a Canadian pastor who's been arrested a number of times for street evangelism. He's not even being obnoxious. He's doing street evangelism. Completely legal. And then the cops show up. So if he is in an area where people know who he is and their LGBTQ crowd, they will cause a complete ruckus. And then guess who gets arrested?
So this really is a formality because pastors and preachers and street ministers have been getting arrested for years. There's a very popular pastor who is always out. He travels all around Canada.
Respect
His name is David Lynn, and he preaches on a regular basis. He tends to target the LGBTQ alphabet community, and he was arrested about a year or so ago in Toronto when he was out preaching against this lifestyle. Take a look at what happened here.
Like what someone's sharing, if you don't like what someone has to say,
we exist.
That's not the main issue.
Well, it is right now because see all these people around here? You are literally right now.
I'm not literally causing anything. No one told them to block the sidewalk. What did I do? I'm back up. I'm with him. Back up.
So Pastor David Lynn is one of many, many, many pastors and preachers that have been arrested all over Canada. And as I said, this bill is just a formality. They really just want to push this into law and make it so that we cannot be out here standing up for God. So what I will say to this nonsense bill is that I guess I better give my size for my orange jumpsuit, because I too get into public debates and discussions about scriptures on a regular basis. So what does that mean for me and the 69.1% Black Christian community and religious community in Canada that are out here? We are always out ministering. Everywhere you go, you see them with signs on street corners, and they are against the LGBTQ community and against other things that are going on, crime, all of the other things, racism that go on in Canada. So if we are out here and we're quoting scripture, it's considered to be hate speech, and therefore jail. Imagine a day where you can be jailed for standing up for God. Yet Canada is so quick to defend and protect the alphabet soup community. I'd like to see that same energy for Black people, which we're not seeing. I'll be keeping my good eye on this bill to see if it actually passes, and I will keep you all